and welcome back to Ravenport. Today, as you can see, I'm in the John Deere Forestry machine, and that is because today is going to be a Logathon. We've got to cut down as many of the trees up here as we can, and that is because we are waiting for our soybean field to be ready for harvest. It's still in its last growing stage, so going to keep ourselves busy whilst we wait for that. So first things first, on the preparation of getting our logs cut down, is last time we did some logs, we were cutting down the trees, came up with a plan that I was going to change the logging trailers around. I've got one large 20 metre trailer which can hitch up to a dolly, and then on the end of the dolly we've got the 12 metre logging trailer. But the longest trailer is slightly too long. The 6 metre logs fall out of it, and then 7 metre logs leave quite a big gap for it. And then the smallest trailer attached to the dolly is perfect for 6 metre logs, but sometimes it does have a bit of an overlap. Just trying to get this hitched up to the dolly, which is at an angle. So bear with me. There we go. Great stuff. So I'm going to take these 2 log trailers to the store, sell them, and then I'll be purchasing 2 middle-sized ones, which are 15 metres, which will be perfect for cutting 7 metre logs, leaving a 1 metre gap between each compartment. So I hope it's going to work. So yeah, today is log focused. Last time we sold the wool to the spinnery, and we also got this field prepped and planted some sugar beet. And the plan is that the sugar beet is then going to be used for another session where we're going to use the sugar beet add-on, which has been released as a mod and looks very, very interesting. Of course, on the left hand side you can see our newest and biggest field with the soybean growing in it quite nicely. So yeah, lots coming up, and this afternoon just need to crack on with getting some of the logs cut at the top of the field. I think at some stage as well I'm going to have to do a hay preparation. So the field just below the forest, I'm going to have to mow, ted and windrow into a baler to then get some hay bales. Okay, so we're at the shop. I'm going to get these 2 trailers sold. I'll be keeping the dolly though, as we will need that for when we've got the 2 15 metre trailers. So just need to detach that. First this long old trailer into the sell point. I think the condition of them is pretty good, so I don't need to worry too much about servicing them, just getting the angle right. That should pick up the trailer quite nicely. Cool, I will actually repair it whilst it's there for £16 and selling it for 22,867. Cool, so I think the sale of that one and then the sale of the smaller one should cover the costs of our 2 15 metre ones, which I will buy used. I do like buying machinery that's used. It helps with the costs of the farm, costs of all the machinery. It can be very expensive, and if you buy new, you can't progress as quickly. So we use the used machinery mod as much as possible to help us. And to me that's fairly realistic. I don't imagine you'd go around buying everything completely brand new. There's always a market for used items, so yeah. Also we're selling that for just shy of 14,000. Right, so let's get the dolly hitched back up. Part of the reason for doing logging this afternoon as well is the rain that's on the way. I don't think it's going to rain right till the end of the afternoon, but I wouldn't have wanted to be halfway through the harvesting of the soybean, which isn't actually ready yet. So yeah, there we go. Cool, so let's buy our 2 new forestry trailers. So yeah, we've sold one of the 12 meters and the 20 meter, and now we're going to buy 2 of the 15 meter, which is 29,000. So we will get the hitch on the back of both of them in case they need to swap around, and that allows us to attach the dolly. Get them used to save 5,800 on each, and we will get the wide tyres. The wide tyres seem to lower the trailer a bit, but it doesn't look so bad on this one. So yeah, that's 24,300. And then we'll be buying another one, exactly the same. That, side by side. So I'll attach the dolly to the closest. If I can angle it right. Go. It's attached. Get the dollyless one and hitch it up to make our log train. There we go. So our 2 15-meter trailers attached together in log train fashion. The reason why I've wanted 2 trailers is because the sawmill is a bit of a drive away, and to me it was just more efficient to get some trailers hitched together that we could then drive a log train to the sawmill. And that also you know, is a bit more fun than just a single trailer. There's something about attaching trailers to make log trains. Just realised I've not had the beacons on. Definitely need beacons when we've got a long load like this. Cool. So nearly back at the farm. I will be parking the log trailers and the agri truck at the top of the field, ready for when we need to auto load some logs. Leave a bit of a gap to make sure we've got space to get the trees pulled into the field and leave enough space for the forestry machine. I will probably actually move a bit further away so there's lots of space. Cool. Right, we will park that there and hop back in our John Deere forestry machine. Cool, so yeah, as I mentioned, I'm going to try and cut down as many trees as possible. And I'll start with the outer line, just to make access nice and easy. So, I've got to mark up all the ones that I want to cut. So, going to get these sprayed. And I will see you in a moment. There we go. So I've got all the trees marked up at the edge, which is the ones I'm going to cut down first. So because I've left the logging quite a long time, the trees that I planted last, right at the top of the field behind this line, are also ready as well, which yeah, is slightly annoying because I wanted to stagger the growth of the trees so I could harvest them at different times and get the profits staggered. But just means we've got more trees to cut down now. But never mind. I probably won't get through all of these today, but I'm going to try my best to get through as many as possible in the time we've got this afternoon. So I better get cracking, and thinking I will cut and drag these trees out like I normally do, and then cut them into 7 meter long. Yeah, we've got 7 meters set already. So let's make our first cut. As always, leaving a good stump to make sure it's easier for when we come to cut the stumps out. Go, first tree cut. I don't really have a system for piling. I sort of maybe group 2, 3 or 4 trees together, and then once I move on enough, I start a new pile. It is hard to keep them all together. The tree twists, as you can see, as it starts to slip down the hill, and that changes the angle of the logs, and then yeah, it can make some untidy piles, but we auto-load our logs, so it does make life a little bit easier. I will at some stage have to start practicing loading logs in a manual fashion, so butting them together and picking them up with a grab. But not going for super realism, hence why the autoloader is being used here. Cool, but as you can see I've got a long way to go, so I'm going to crack on, and then maybe when I finish this line and we're going to get them picked up, I'll see you there. Wish me luck.
So alone, 'cause here I am.
Okay, so I have just cut down the last tree of the line. Hasn't taken too long, but there are quite a few trees in that line, and therefore lots of logs that we're going to have to collect up. Of course, we'll need to clear the stumps of all the trees that we've cut. Yep, that's the line cleared, so good time for us to give the forestry machine a bit of a breather and collect up some logs. So just going to park that here. Yep. And then if we have enough time, we'll come back and start cutting some other logs as well. Oh dear, a bit of foliage left on the end of this one. Of course, the autoloader will pick up the main bulky logs, but won't pick up some of the thin spindly tops, so I sometimes get left with a field with those top bits, and then the tractor with the mower will probably hit them next time we come and cut the grass in this field. But yeah, it's just part of the logging experience and process. Cool, so I am going to test out the auto loading of the logs into our two new 15-meter trailers. I'm probably going to leave the dolly there for now, just I don't want too much to have to deal with at once, and I'm not sure how the autoloader responds to having two trailers of the same type. I'm guessing you just have to select between them, but nonetheless. Cool, so let's see how many piles we can do. We can do 3 piles of max 5 meters, 4 piles of 3.5, 1 of 15, of course, and then 2 of max 7.5, but we've got 7 meter. So yeah, should be perfect, I'm hoping. So we want to autoload from the right, so we'll switch to that, and then start the autoloader. Look, that's perfect. The much larger log trailer we had, the 6 meter logs would start to fall out the side, so this is quite nice. And then oh yeah, actually no, I will just nudge these using a bit of extra strength. I think we'd be able to roll these down the hill, so there we go. Oh, so they're loading quite nicely, and there's a bit of a gap here of 1 meter before it then will start the second pile. So yeah, oh look, it's even collecting up some of the little spindly ones that I said it probably wouldn't pick up, so it's a bit of a bonus. Cool, well, I'm going to get these loaded up. I will load up both trailers, and then we'll have a little trip to the sawmill. Probably should start getting a bit closer to these piles, so they load up nicely. What's nice is the autoloader will automatically switch to the rear pile. There we go. Once it's happy with what it's loaded. Cool, so let me just give these a little shunt into the auto loading space. Spawn point, I should say. Perfect. Couple that are riding, but that's where the 1 meter gap helps us out a little bit. Go. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to get this done, and then see you in a short while before the trip to the sawmill. Okay, so I've loaded both log trailers, 2 compartments in each of 7-meter logs. So we can have a little look and see what it tells us. So in the first trailer we got 26.6 tons. Doesn't tell me. Oh yeah, 46 logs loaded. And then in the trailer at the back, 46 logs loaded as well. Wow, same number. It's crazy. And 25.7 tons, so a bit lighter. Yeah, Christ, we've got over a 50-ton load that we're pulling at the back. Not sure in real life if this truck is up to 50 tons, but I'm guessing it is. It pulls it well enough. And I'm so pleased that we traded the other log trailer setup that we had, the 20-meter and the 12-meter, for the 215, because that just seems to work much better, much smoother. I feel like I've got the knack for how to manage the auto load on the logs. As you can see in the first trailer, the second compartment, some of the logs are a little bit lifted up, but the trailer at the back is very, very neat. And I think it's just a matter of starting and stopping the auto loading as we pull up to and close to other logs. And that's perfect timing, because it looks like our soybean field has fully grown and is now ready for harvest. Cool, I'm happy to leave that to get to the higher sort of maturity of the harvesting stages whilst we get some more logs processed. It's 4:30 of the game afternoon. Rain is on the way, and I think it's going to strike at about 6 o'clock, because that tends to be how the weather strikes without seasons. 13 mile an hour up the hill, 12, 11, down to 10. It is a heavy, heavy train. But ultimately means we've got less trips to do to the sawmill. And we nearly, ever so nearly, got all of the logs that we cut down into both these trailers. There's just a small pile left. I'm going to have to take this wide angled, but I will be waiting because I see the train there. In an earlier video when I was streaming rather than recording and uploading, the train did come through and absolutely smash my log train to bits, which was quite hilarious. But ever since then I'm very keen to avoid it, so happy to wait. We have to get our angles right with the log train and the dolly trailer. It nips ever so closely to the barriers, and now the road signs. I reckon that road sign there on the right hand side of the truck is going to get nipped as we go around this corner. Oh yeah, no question. I'm going to smash that road sign. These roads aren't designed for log trains. Cool. Right, we're nearly at the sawmill. Yeah, I enjoy the log setup I've got. I think if I were to do a more realistic series or set of videos, I would like to use the manual log grabber. I know it does take time, and game time can be limited a little bit for me because of work. So yeah, ooh, it looks like I dropped a log there last time. It's now holding up all the traffic. Sorry about that. I'll pick that up on my way out. Yeah, one of the main reasons for using the autoloader for the logs is just the time. The manual time it takes to pick up all those logs and stack them. but I'm hoping at some stage I'll be able to get onto that. But let's see how much we can sell our logs for. So I will unstrap both trailers, and I think we're in a spot where we can sell all the logs in the front. 70,000. Go. I think sometimes the logs are a little bit too tall for the spawn point in this trailer, but works out quite well. Had one fall off just at the end there. Yeah, it should be around another 70,000. Let's give this a little nudge. There we go. Yeah, that was 70,000 loads of logs. So yeah, 140,000. I'm just thinking of how that compared to the previous log train of 20 meters and 12. I think we got in the region of 150. But obviously we were carrying more. So sorry for interrupting your journey. Yeah, we were obviously carrying more there, but it was almost more awkward carrying the two different sized trailers. The 20 meter trailer is just a little bit too big, too long to manage. Yeah, two 15 meter trailers, 30 meters. Whereas before we had a 20 and a 12, so it would have been 32 meters. My maths is very good. Cool. I do wonder as well if we get more money for the 7 meter logs versus the 6 meter logs. I think anywhere between 6 and 9 is the optimum log value. I have done a bit of research in the various blogs and videos that people put up about log prices, but if anyone knows better than that, then let me know. Or if there's anything that anyone wants me to try in regards to logging setup, or a new forestry machine, or anything, just yeah, let me know in the comments. I'm really excited for harvesting this soybean because we will be getting our new harvester. I've had a little look at which ones I'm going to get. I think it's going to be a New Holland, but we'll see. Cool, and our sugar beet, which we planted last time, is also growing. Looks like we've got a weird patch that's on the second growth stage already. Does it need weeding yet? No, it doesn't need weeding. So that will probably come in the next game day when we harvest the soybean. And we're going to have a lot of soybean straw to collect as well. So my thoughts are I will have the harvester running, a new harvester, which will produce the soybean swath, and I'll have probably the Class Axion with the fast baler running behind me to bale up the soybean straw. We could even have another follow me, which is the JCB with the bale trailer. Who knows? done a good job today. And yeah, I love these two trucks. Feel like they go really well together. And my plan is that I'm going to use the Magarus Deutz to pull the low loader next session when we have to take our Massey Ferguson 7347S Activa to the shop, because we're going to sell it. Yeah, can't keep two harvesters, there's no need. So we'll be hoping to do one journey with the low loader, and the Magarus will pull it for us, and we'll take the harvester to the sell point. Probably have to have a tractor following behind with the cereal crop harvesting attachment. Right, last job for today is to clear the tree stumps. So thoughts are, I think I'm going to get a tree stump clearer. It's one from the shop that I have seen. I've seen some other YouTubers use it, and it looks to be good. I think it's part of the AJ Tech. Oh no, sorry, it is a BioBelt UM300. Cuts tree stumps. Looks really good. One of the other YouTubers that I follow, Mr. Cultivator, who I think, like me, is relatively new, but he's doing really well, has used that in his Dark Forest series. So yeah, if you haven't seen that and you happen to be watching this, then go check it out. It's really good. Sort of silent and time-lapsed videos, which are cool, and it has got me thinking to possibly doing a silent series, which is where it's just completely silent, very similar to Chainsaw, who plays with Daggerwin, but he remains entirely silent and does everything through time-lapse, which is cool. I do like that style, but then my preferred style of doing these videos is to talk. I sort of like to talk about my thoughts and what's going on and what I'm planning. Cool, so looks like you can get a work light with this. Definitely going to get that. No point us getting it used because it only saves 500, so yeah. The BioBelt UM300. Didn't change the colour on it, so we've got it red, but you know, I think it's quite a dangerous machine, so it's got the danger red colour. Hopefully I'm picking this up the right side. Yep, there we go. Okay, here we are. So I'm going to work my way down this line. Get this turned on. Wow. Did that do the whole stump? It did. That is crazy. That is very cool. Obviously takes a bit more time than the lumberjack mod, but more realistic. Gives me something to do to pass the remaining time of the day. Cool, so I'm going to get this line of tree stumps done, and then we will be leaving it there for the day. Very impressed with this stump cutter. Cool. See you in a few moments. finished clearing up all the stumps, and I'm very surprised at how short a time it took. This stump cutter is very, very good, and it's much better than some of the other stump cutters I've used in the past before I got the lumberjack mod. And yeah, I had the base game stump cutter, which I can show you. Yeah, this one, the FSI PowerTech ST65T, very cheap, but yeah, this one is even cheaper and better. Much better, half the price and much better. Got a wider angle, or wider range I should say. The other one you had to sort of be quite precise about where you were putting the cutter. Cool. So, can't remember what normally goes here. Oh, it was the old sprayer that we used to pull along. Don't need that anymore, so that can go there. And yes, it has started raining as the forecast predicted. So yeah, I'm pleased we didn't dedicate this afternoon to doing the harvesting of the soybean, because we likely would have got caught short, and also would have had the straw sat in the field getting wet before we could finish baling it and collecting it. So yeah, I'm pleased about that. But that is going to be it for today. I'm happy that I managed to clear that long line of logs. Got them all cut into 7 meters, loaded on our 2 new trailers that are 15 meters. Happy with how that's working and that setup. Took it to the sawmill and we earned 70,000 per trailer, so £140,000 taken in today from logs. And we also bought a stump cutter, which works really well. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Next time we'll be focusing on the soybean harvesting, as I mentioned. And yeah, thanks very much for your views. I really do appreciate them. And as always, any likes and subscribes are greatly appreciated as well. Up to 19 now. Still in the low numbers, but to me the numbers don't really matter. The fact that people are subscribing and watching is really, really awesome. So yeah, if you've got any tips, advice, things you'd like me to do, then please give me a shout in the comments. Whilst I'm here, some other YouTubers you should check out. One of my family members, Focus, he plays Fortnite and Minecraft, so check out his channel. And then also I have to give credit to those who inspire me in the farming simulator world, mainly Daggerwin, and also I've had some really good tutorials watching with Farmer Cop, and then as mentioned the stump cutter, I saw someone who I watch, Mr. Cultivator, use this, and decided to get it for myself. So yeah, big thanks and credit to those who show me the ropes with Farming Simulator. But yeah, I will see you next time. Catch you later. Bye bye.